Hey everyone, what's going on? Yesterday, a major news story in the media was that of the former Jackass star Bam Margera leaving rehab after just 10 days. And if you're new to what I talk about on this channel, I talk about how our mainstream media is continuously coded by old world knowledge, such as what is called Kabbalah, which is Jewish mysticism. It has a core belief that God created the world by merging the letter with the number. And if you understand Kabbalah, within Kabbalah, there's something called gematria, which is the practice of coding numbers into words and phrases. And, you know, all throughout history, there are celebrities and so on who die by this code. And if you know of the band that is called Slipknot, they have a song that is called Gematria, and then it is in quotations, the killing name. Because people are using this knowledge to murder people. And that's why the band The Police has a song called Murder by Numbers 1, 2, 3. It's as easy as your ABCs. But the band Slipknot, after they came out with this song called Gematria, that equals 38 in Gematria, their bass player died, and his name was Paul Gray. Notice Paul Gray also equals 38, and he died at the age of 38 years old, and his nickname was the Pig. That equals 38. And, he died in Johnston, Iowa. Johnston equals 38. If you write out Johnston, Iowa, it's 163, which is the 38th prime number. So, this code exists. These people are dying by this code. Slipknot equals 46. Paul Gray died 46 days before his own birthday. It was also 1 month and 16 days. And I'm just explaining this to you so you understand what I'm going to talk about in a second with why we got this story with Bam Margera and the number 10 being so important here. 10 days. The reason that there's 4 ciphers over here is because this is the alphabetic order. So A would equal 1 because it's the first letter, B the second letter, and so on. All the way up to Z, you get 26. And this one is the reduction method. So J is the 10th letter. So you take 1 plus 0 is 1. And then K is the 11th. 1 plus 1 is 2. And then these two right here are just the reverse. And if you understand this old world knowledge, there's also another piece that is called Hermeticism that has a belief that everything is the same and everything is the opposite. And think about in Kabbalah how God created the world by merging the letter with the number. Notice God in reverse equals 55 and 10. And then notice what Satan equals in the frontwards way, 55 and 10. And within Kabbalah, there are 10 sephirots on the tree of life that are used to understand the infinity, which is God. 10 sephirots. Marilyn Manson has a song called Say 10. And within that song, he says, you say God, and I say 10. Like the number. Why would he say that? It's because, Satan equals 10 and God equals 10. And there's many, many other examples. Like look at, Republican equals 47 in the frontwards way, and Democrat equals 47 in reverse. So just want to explain a little bit about the system that exists every single day in our mainstream media, and hopefully it will help you understand what I'm going to say here. So Bam Margera, he leaves rehab after 10 days. And the reason that's important is because if you write out Jackass, Jackass just so happens to equal 10 in Gematria. And notice too, if you write out 10 days, it equals 25. And if you write out Rehab, it equals 25. And if you look up the TV show Jackass, when the TV show came out, it only aired 25 episodes on MTV. And MTV in Gematria just so happens to equal 10. So Bam Margera leaves rehab after 10 days on the 10th day of the year. And Jackass equals 10, MTV equals 10. These other things sync up as well. And Also, what's interesting is right now Bam Margera is 39 years old. And if you write out 10, 10 just so happens to equal 39. And a big deal with his drinking was because of the death of his friend Ryan Dunn. And I'll just show you here. This is the picture they have in the article. And they even have a picture of Ryan Dunn in the background. And, you know, Bam's drinking really got out of hand after the death of Ryan Dunn. So keep in mind, Bam is currently 39 years old. If you write out 10, it equals 39. If you write out Ryan Dunn in Gematria equals 39. And they were in the group called CKY before Jackass. CKY equals 39. And Ryan Dunn just so happened to die 3 months and 9 days after Johnny Knoxville's birthday. And he just so happened to die 3 months and 9 days before Bam Margera's birthday. And his name equals 39. What are the odds of that, right? His name equals 39. 3 months and 9 days after Johnny Knoxville's birthday. 3 months and 9 days before Bam Margera's birthday. Now Bam Margera is going to rehab, stemming back to his drinking that has a lot to do with the death of Ryan Dunn. You know, leaves after 10 days. 10 equals 39. Bam Margera is 39 years old. Steve-O in Jackass, he became sober on March 9th, 10 years ago. What are the odds of that? 3, 9, 10 years ago. Also, if you go up here and you look at Ryan Dunn, I just want to prove to you Ryan Dunn, you know, he even died on his 10th day of being 34 years old, which is interesting. He died 9 days after his birthday, but on his 10th day of being 34 years old. But notice how this 3 months and 9 days is also 101 days. The reason that's so interesting is because the first ever episode of Jackass that aired on MTV aired on October 1st. 10/1, a lot like 101. Also, if you write out 10 days, 10 days equals 101, right? 10 days. Rehab also equals 101. It also equals 29, which just so happens to be the 10th prime number. So just wanted to show how this story, like all other stories in the mainstream media, they're constantly coded with this system. And even in the letter in the article, they showed us that Bam Margera, he left because they wouldn't let him do business calls. And he has 10 people living at his house getting paid to build ramps that he can't associate with while he's in rehab. So he leaves rehab after 10 days, right? And he's got 10 people living at his house, building ramps. They also show us another journal thing that he wrote in rehab. And he says that, you know, it wasn't really a problem. He went sober for 6 months starting on January 10th, 2018. Right? And now we're getting this story of him leaving rehab on January 10th. And last year he was sober from January 10th until he went to Colombia and got a gun pulled on him and whatnot. What are the odds, you know? All about this number 10 that's going on. If you go from Bam's birthday to this day, January 10th, it's 104 days. And the reason that's so interesting is because his real name, Brandon Cole Margera, equals 104. So we get the story 104 days after his birthday. His real full name equals 104. There's some other interesting things. I don't want to lose you, but it's also 3 months and 13 days. And I think if you read out, is it Bam? Bam equals 65. And 313 is the 65th prime number. I think if you read out Bam Margera, it also equals 65. Right? So it's synced up to both ways with Bam Margera's name and whatnot. We're told that Johnny Knoxville was born on 3/11, which is interesting because that is the 64th prime number, 311 is. And if you read out Johnny Knoxville's real name, it's Philip Clapp, that equals 64. And also if you read out Jackass, Jackass also equals 64. It equals 10, and it also equals 64. Johnny Knoxville's birthday, 311, the 64th prime number. That's why we're told that Steve-O tried to commit suicide on June 4th, right? Because jackass equals 64. This story about Bam Margera, it also comes 204 days after the anniversary of the death of Ryan Dunn. And if you write out Ryan Dunn's full name, Ryan Matthew Dunn, it equals 204. So we'll leave the video there. Wanted to keep it short. Just want to show you how the mainstream media constantly, it's always syncs up this way. They create these stories that happen by this code. They're essentially playing God over the rest of the world, but people are getting murdered by this code. Just another example. So, check out some links in the description. Please, try to learn to apply this for yourself. I got thousands of videos showing this over and over. There's awesome links in the description that will help you get a better understanding of what I'm saying. And, hopefully we can get more people to learn this and learn how this knowledge works, and we can create a better world with this, with more minds. So, have a good one. Peace.